I'm back. Okay, thank you everybody for returning. I got Knox, I got Moni, I got Low Key, I got Joe, I got Chris. Chris just showed up. That's what's up, man. Appreciate you, brethren. Much love to everybody who came back, fighting through the oppression of the man, trying to hold me back. They know I'm doper than them, so they got to do everything they can to hold me back. That's all I'm talking about. Now, I'm not sure. I'm almost sure where I left off, but the last thing I was saying, there was a few interesting questions that was asked of the rookies. The number one question that was asked, and they had the biggest response, was the fact that Zion Williamson was not voted the most popular rookie. No one said, well, he was way down in the list, to be honest with you. He was low on the totem pole. And people are confused by that. It's because, like I was saying, you got people that don't realize that when you're in a team concept, everybody can shine. And people underestimated Zion Williamson and his ability to score and dominate. So that's why they say this. And then let's be honest. Cam Reddish is on the surface, a more skilled basketball player. When you are extremely explosive, when you have the athletic prowess of a Zion Williamson, people think that's all you can do. Run, jump, dunk. He hasn't been asked to shoot, so therefore at this point, he does not have the ability to shoot. So when you are not asked to do certain things, it looks as if you have limitations to your game. And if you don't have limitations to your game, you'll be able to shine on the next level. As I was stating, Vince Carter is another player that was in that same boat. He wasn't allowed to shine. Therefore, people assumed that he only had a specific skill set. He came to the league and now he's a Hall of Famer. It is yet to be determined if Zion Williamson can do that, and I hope he can, but we don't know yet. So, with that being said, that closes out basketball. I'm going back to my list, and y'all want to know what the list is. It is the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It is the 9 people. It is the Supreme Court, the 9 people who I think will dominate the sport, dominate the game, and put you in an awesome situation when need be. These are the biggest clutch hitters in the game, in my personal opinion. I can't speak about Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth and all those guys. I ain't see those dudes. But what I did see is a bunch of these guys on this list, and they came through more times than not. Number 9 was Chipper Jones, Larry Chipper Jones. I ain't gonna call no grown man Chipper. He too old to be called Chipper. Joe from Houston said he didn't even know the man's name was Larry. Yeah, the man named Larry Jones, man, but they called him Chipper Jones. Big ups to Chipper Jones. Number 8 is Chase Utley, big time second baseman for the Phillies, with the Washington Nationals and a few other teams that was making playoff runs, because Chase is a big time ball player. Manny Ramirez was number 6. Number 6 is Manny Ramirez. People get confused with the PEDs. One thing, you can talk about PEDs if you want to, but this is a little information for you if you think that these dudes are products of PEDs. Mark Aguirre and Sammy Sosa consistently struck out on a regular basis while using PEDs. PEDs don't make you hit the ball. It just, if you get lucky enough to hit it, you might put it over the gate. That's all a PED gonna help you with. So yeah, I can hit the ball 70 times out of 400 attempts. Understand that baseball is predicated on failure. Therefore, if a game is predicated on failure and you succeed 70 times, you are failing more than they won't like you to. So, as I stated, this is a big time situation. When you need a big time situation, you got the homie Manny Ramirez stepping up and doing the damn thing. And if you don't believe me, ask my main man, the number 1 Chief Rocker Jersey Vern, because Manny took him down. The next dude on my list is another dude who helped take Chief Rocker's Yankees down. When you get through looking at it, this dude's a big time power player. He got confused. He got mixed into the PD nonsense as well. When you look at Big Papi, he was a big time hitter, and when he was with the Minnesota Twins, nothing changed. Again, PEDs do not make you a Hall of Famer. You might have some big time stats. You might be able to do some things that nobody thought you could do. But PEDs will not, they cannot make you a Hall of Famer. You are not going to be a Hall of Famer because you took some drugs and some pills and they made you strong. You'll do some extraordinary things. So so then you will look good, but you're not gonna be good. I'm sorry, that's not what it is. So you can, oh man, they use PEDs. Hey man, do you know how many of these damn scrubs use PEDs and they ain't on nothing? They ain't on nothing. So big ups to Manny and Poppy in regards to that. To hell with y'all PED accusations, because intestinal fortitude and guts make you hit big time balls. That's it. I ain't trying to hear the rest of that shit. Yo man, he this and he that. Next up is a dude that y'all probably don't even know. Y'all probably never even heard of this guy. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Big time Los Angeles Dodger first baseman. Moved over to San Diego Padres, took them to the World Series as well. Steve Garvey. Big time clutch hitter. Ask any Cub fan that's older than 40, and who was born in the 70s, older than, like from 40 on up. Steve Garvey done it in the Cubs. He done it in a bunch of teams. Steve Garvey is another big time ball player on this list. And you know what? He's not my favorite baseball player, but he was definitely my favorite baseball player to watch. They call him the Wizard. I ain't giving Steve Garvey his love. Gold Glove, World Series champion, big time ball player. I don't know why he's not in the Hall of Fame. It's been rumored with some things, but again, this ain't podcast Hollywood and nothing like that. I don't do the scuttle, but big up to Steve Garvey. Next up is the homie. He's an iconic ball player. His name is synonymous with baseball. He's primarily known for his defense, but this is a dude who turned himself into a functioning hitter. He was part of one of the greatest and most entertaining teams of the 80s and early 90s. Several Golden Gloves. He made defense fashionable. Clutch player through and through. Was not a home run hitter. They needed a home run one game. He knocked one out the park. And this is when you hit a home run and you had to have some real power behind hitting your home run. This wasn't just that home run in these little bitty ballparks. He goes by the name, his nickname, Mr. Wizard, he goes by the name of Ozzie Smith. Now, back to the stories, man. Y'all know what time it is. I got Tiffany Sports and Hills in the building. Thank you for joining us. Now, with that being said, it's time to return. And y'all know it's from here on out, I'm going to take it on home for the next 61 minutes. I'm going to do nothing. But I got Denise Milk and Cookies in the building. Thank you for the Denise. Thank you for the support. Going forward, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know my favorite sport. I ain't doing nothing but this for the rest of the game.
Come on. We will win. Because we will hit all game. We are motivated. We are dedicated. Come on now. We will win. Because we are the best on the field. And we hit the field like all day light, all night light, on the blue light, offense light, defense light, his squad light, house call light, and it sound light,
Ladies and gentlemen, haters and better friends, last weekend was the very last weekend you will see football that won't count. Saturday, one of the big games of the year. Thank you. Shout out to the NCAA for stopping the nonsense of waiting to the middle of the season to make real football games. The NCAA said you're going to start off big and you're going to start off right. You got the University of Miami versus the University of Florida this weekend. It's going down. Big ups to the NCAA, University of Miami, and the University of Florida. As usual, I'm going to start off at the ass end of the conversation, which is the Heisman Trophy. Heisman Trophy is awarded at the end of the season. It's kind of asinine to even discuss this now because no games have been played and nothing has been talked about, and I'm still going to do it, though. Now, the Heisman Trophy is pretty much the MVP of college football. I have my own picks, and for whatever reason, I'm going to go through those picks, and for whatever reason, you can offer your feedback, and we can have a discussion. Thank you for chiming in. This is the End of the Bench Podcast on Built for This Network. Thank you. I got Joe from Houston has returned. Joe has returned. Big up to Joe. Built for This Network. Please hit the follow button so you can get alerts and you can join me, the number one Chief Rock, and our super DJ producer, DJ Knox, along with Mooka Dean and my main man, Victor Morrow. Mondays, Chief Rocker holds it down. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I show up at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesday. DJ Knox will open us up Wednesday evening, and then Brother's going to work it out Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then DJ Mooka Dean at 5 o'clock helping you get home, 5 Eastern Standard Time, and then Victor Morrow will be holding it down. Now, even though due to my porous internet, thank you AT&T for ruining a portion of my show and disrupting my audience entertainment, but the good thing about that is this. This is a podcast. This is not terrestrial radio. If you missed the beginning, just go back to episode 221 and you're already here for 221.5. Go to the network, the end of the bench. Built for This Network. Listen to both episodes. Leave a comment. You don't even have to wait to leave it when we're live. You can get us. This is not terrestrial radio, people. This is a podcast network. This is on-demand entertainment. But with that being said, these are the top 5 dudes I see in the Heisman race. The first one is a dude that most people are not paying attention to because his team has not his team has not fared well at the end of the season. Now, when you don't fare well in the season, people don't look at you as a Heisman hopeful. The reason I'm putting him in the Heisman conversation is because he's going to have to perform like a Heisman hopeful in order for this team to excel. He only completed 64% of his passes in today's NCAA, NFL, or football period. 64% is like right there where you want your quarterback to be. Is not excellent enough to win a Heisman, but he's going to have to be excellent. He's going to have to get more than 2,600 yards passing. He'll have to stretch it down the field more than 8 yards per attempt. He's going to get more. He's going to need more than 22 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, and fewer than 273 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. He's going to have to dominate in the pocket because his defense is a little slack. And if he does this, I do see him being one of the Heisman hopeful. His name is Shea Patterson. Thank you for paying attention to Shea Patterson. He's one of the guys who I look at. Because his coach Jim Harbaugh is on the Budweiser hot seat nationally, he's brought a lot of attention to himself. So when you transfer from Ole Miss, I think it was Mississippi, it was Ole Miss, and you come to Michigan, you're going to have to take one or get off the pot. I think it's time for Shea to show and prove. A dude who's nobody's paying attention to. He's at the University of Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a team that is a dominant football team in one of the best conferences in football. It is the Big Ten. The Big Ten is one of the stronger conferences top to bottom. You got the University of Wisconsin where he's at. You got Ohio State, Michigan, Northwestern, Purdue. They're all very strong teams. And let's not forget about Penn State and Nebraska. He's going up against top flight competition. He dominated last season. And because he dominated last season, I'm expecting him to continue. When you dominate one season, you should continue on that trajectory. And I expect Wisconsin to do the same. When you putting up numbers like this, these are Barry Sanders, O.J. Simpson kind of numbers. These are the kind of numbers that get you drafted in the first round. 2,194 yards, 7.5 yards a carry, 16 touchdowns. That is why Jonathan Taylor, running back for the University of Wisconsin, is in my top 5 Heisman hopeful conversation. Next up is a young man who forced a young man out of town, an excellent quarterback out of town, and he forced him into Ohio State, Justin Fields. A lot of people thought Justin was going to take over at that position, but